Hello everyone, welcome to my video. I am Kharisma Wahyu Asmarani and I will discuss film reviews. Do you also like watching films like me? If you like and needed film recommendations, watch this video which is definitely useful. No need to elaborate, let's get started. Grave of Fireflies movie review. Representations of children as victims of war. Grave of Fireflies is a film that carries the main theme of humanity crime. This film shows war that doesn't only show the aspect of heroism and patriotism, or war heroes who are shown as invisible superhuman features that are usually shown in most war films, but rather views war in terms of the human psyche. This film is the focus of the representations of children as victims of war. Then the question arises, how children as victims of war are represented in the movie Grave of Fireflies. So to answer the question above, I will present a movie review of Grave of Fireflies. Grave of Fireflies never gets old. It has been decades since its publication, but this masterpiece by director Isao Takahata still brings a feeling of sadness. Studio Ghibli first aired this movie format anime in Japan, and to this day, it still ranks among the top 50 anime of all time according to several movie websites. Hotaru no Haka, or Grave of Fireflies, is based on World War II, where the story centers on an older brother named Seita who looks after his sister Setsuko when Japan is bombarded by American troops. Their mother and father have both died. This is a heart-wrenching film. So, you would want to have a tissue or something handy to, your tears. And I will continue this story. Seita is the eldest child who is 14 years old, while her sister Setsuko is 3 years old. They live in a time where the world is in turmoil due to World War II. At the time, the United States attacked Japan by air and Japanese cities were targeted. The city of Kobe, which was one of the American targets, was devastated by the bombs that were dropped. Other houses were destroyed, including Seita's house. Everyone is busy running for their lives to evacuate. Seita and Setsuko would follow their mother, who had already evacuated, to the school building. But their father, who was a soldier in the Japan's Marines, didn't come with them because he fought in the war and died on the battlefield. Therefore, Seita had to take good care of his younger and make sure his mother was safe. Unfortunately, his mother was hit by a bomb and burned all over her body, so she could no longer be helped. After their mother's death, Seita and Setsuko were taken in by their aunt. It seemed that their arrival at the home of the only remaining relative was like delivering themselves to be insulted and reviled because their aunt considered Seita and Setsuko only parasite in her house. Feeling unwanted, Seita and Setsuko left in court and settled in a cave that had been a hiding place by the lake. As there was no light in the cave, so when night came, Seita caught fireflies and brought them inside to illuminate the cave. After leaving his aunt's house, Seita had to survive with limited tools and food around the cave where they lived. However, the life that was far from being comfortable, so hard for them. At her tender age, Setsuko, the little girl, couldn't survive the diarrhea and malnutrition that eventually ended up taking her life. Although Seita had tried various ways to cure Tetsuko by stealing medicine and stealing food and others. The child was beyond help. With Setsuko gone, only Seita was left. His mother and father were long gone, and now Setsuko had followed them. The following days were hell for Seita. He is just waiting to be picked up by the Grim Reaper, so that he can gather with the family he misses. The movie Grave of the Fireflies represents children as victims of war in the following ways. First one, depicting the cruelty of war from the perspective of children who are victims of war. Second one, showing the heroic story of a boy 14 years old who became the backbone for his younger sister in midst of a war situation. Third one, describing how the cruelty of war kills the humanity of fellow human beings. Fourth one, shows how children become victims of war and have to struggle to survive. Fifth one invites the audience to learn more about the history of war and its impact on society, especially children who are victims of war. So in this movie, we can see how children become victims of war and have to struggle to survive in the midst of a very difficult situation. Overall, Grave of the Fireflies is a powerful and emotionally impactful movie that deals with mature themes and subject matter. So, I think it is not recommended for children due to its intense and emotionally traumatizing contents, but it's so highly recommended for age younger or teenager. So, I highly recommend it again this movie because it has so many moral messages. So, how is it after listening to this movie review? Are you interested in watching this full version of this movie?